Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we are tackling a massive challenge that, honestly, almost every modern enterprise is facing right now: taming digital chaos. We're going to unpack an incredibly powerful framework developed by Rick Lemieux, the co-founder of the DVMS Institute. It's called the three-layered digital value stack. If you've ever felt like your organization is just drowning in disconnected tech, well, this explainer is going to completely change how we view digital operations. We're talking about moving from fragmentation literally straight to systemic control. Let's get into it. So let me ask you a direct question. Is your enterprise running on assumptions rather than actual evidence, all because of fragmented technology? Think about it. Cloud adoption, connected devices, automation, they are all expanding so rapidly. But the real problem today isn't implementing new tech, right? It's coherence. Without a unifying structure, you get limited visibility, disjointed systems, and a massive disconnect between your technical activities and your actual business value. You basically end up guessing instead of knowing, and that's a dangerous place to be. All right, let's dive right into the architectural blueprint that actually solves this. It's called the three-layered digital value stack. As you'll see, it organizes the digital enterprise into three distinct but totally interdependent layers. You've got your intelligence systems at the bottom, workflow systems right in the middle, and the government system sitting on top. This is the model that transforms all those disconnected capabilities into a coordinated, well-oiled machine. So here is our roadmap for the explainer today. 1. The chaos of fragmentation. 2. The intelligence foundation. 3. The operational backbone. 4. The governance overlay. 5. From visibility to value. And finally, 6. Achieving systemic control. Okay, moving to section 2, the intelligence foundation. Subtitle here, where visibility is born. Right at the bottom of our stack, we have discovery and AI systems. This base layer acts as the absolute generator for continuous, high-fidelity visibility to eliminate operational uncertainty. Because listen, if you don't have accurate visibility into what exists in your network and how it's behaving, every single system operating above this layer is just guessing. Higher-level systems completely fail if they operate on assumptions. So this foundation, it provides the hard, indisputable evidence your enterprise needs to function. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it utilizes AI-driven visibility platforms like Anthropic and asset discovery tools like Armis. It's basically shining a giant spotlight into the dark, dusty corners of your network, identifying those notoriously invisible, unmanaged devices, your IoT and operational technology. It's constantly monitoring behavior, detecting anomalies in real time, and surfacing vulnerabilities before they become tomorrow's headline news. Think of it as the all-seeing eyes and ears of your enterprise. Now, there is a very clear boundary here you need to understand. On the capability side, yes, it continuously identifies assets and monitors behavior. But here is the critical limitation. This layer does not provide governance or make operational decisions. It produces incredible, actionable intelligence, sure, but that data just sits there unless it's consumed and structured by the next layer up. Stepping up to section 3, the operational backbone, putting intel to work. Sitting right on top of that intelligence foundation, we have workflow systems. This is the integration point of your enterprise. It takes all those raw signals, those vulnerabilities, and device discoveries from the AI layer below and transforms them into structured, actionable processes. It connects those technical signals to actual operational activities, providing the context that raw data so desperately needs to be useful. In the real world, we're talking about the heavy-hitting platforms you probably use every single day. Things like ServiceNow, Salesforce, Atlassian. These platforms ingest the raw AI data, normalize it, and link it to actual services and incidents. So a risk identified at the network level is instantly associated with a specific workflow, enabling a truly coordinated incident response. It enforces your policies and upgrades your organization from chaotic, ad hoc reactions to highly repeatable, scalable, and managed processes. It's a real game changer. But just like the layer below it, the operational backbone definitely has its limits. Its core capability is execution. It operationalizes governance and ensures traceability. However, its limitation is that it does not define what should be governed or how business value is actually measured. It is a really powerful engine, right? But an engine still needs a driver to tell it where to go. It requires direction and structure from the very top. Which brings us to section 4, the governance overlay, the strategic brain. At the very pinnacle of the stack sits the Digital Value Management System, or DVMS. Now, there is a massive misconception out there we need to clear up right now. DVMS is a management system. Actually, scratch any idea you have of it being a software platform. It is not a tool. It is the governing structure that dictates exactly how your entire digital operation is structured, measured, and most importantly, aligned directly to business value. It is absolutely the strategic brain of the whole operation. So what is the DVMS actually doing up there at the top? Well, it establishes value streams, defines performance objectives, and sets the overarching control frameworks. This is where leadership evaluates resilience and risk. Instead of just looking at isolated technical metrics, this layer ensures that all digital activities connect your strategy all the way down to execution. It determines what actually matters to the business and how success is ultimately evaluated. The capability of DVMS is incredible. It aligns all your digital activities to a totally coherent operating model. It provides a really consistent approach for decision-making. But it has a major blind spot, an interesting dependency, really. It relies entirely on structured data flowing upward from the workflow systems. DVMS does not go down to the network level and collect raw data itself. No way. It depends completely on the operational backbone feeding it enriched, contextualized information so it can evaluate performance against real business outcomes. Moving on to Section 5, from visibility to value, the system comes alive. Now, here is where we see the data updraft in action, how information actually flows across the stack to bring it to life. Down at the foundation in Step 1, discovery and AI systems generate those raw insights and signals. Then, that data flows upward into Step 2, the workflow systems, where it's enriched, normalized, and contextualized into operational processes. Finally, in Step 3, that structured, organized information is consumed by the DVMS at the top, which evaluates it based on performance, risk, and true value delivery. Raw signals literally transform into actionable intelligence and ultimately into strategic insight. And finally, Section 6, achieving systemic control, reaching the goal. There is a fantastic quote from Rick Lemieux that captures this perfectly. He says, instead of attempting to eliminate complexity, the stack organizes it, creating a cohesive system that is greater than the sum of its parts. And that is the magic here. Modern enterprise IT is inherently complex. You literally can't kill the complexity, but with this layered structure, you can organize it so it works for you rather than against you. The benefits of achieving this systemic control are absolutely profound. First off, technical risks are finally evaluated by their business impact, meaning decisions aren't just driven by some arbitrary technical severity score anymore. Because of that, risk management integrates smoothly into overall management, rather than just being a siloed IT function. You gain continuous assurance through a real-time automated feedback loop flowing up and down the stack. And importantly, you get crystal clear accountability. Because the layers are distinct, you know exactly who is responsible for visibility, who handles execution, and who owns governance. No more finger pointing. Which brings us to our final thought for today. Are you just managing fragmented tools, or are you actually operating a unified system for digital value? The three-layer digital value stack proves that by cleanly separating intelligence, execution, and governance, your organization can see clearly, act consistently, and measure effectively. It's time to transform your complexity into clarity. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this framework on today's Explainer. Until next time, keep learning, keep optimizing, and we'll see you soon.